All right, so this one is for you, Taurus. It's from Lumination, and it's a mini love and relationship report for January 2019. If you've been here before, please be patient. Illumination has to go through a kind of a drill to get things rolling. I'm going to shuffle as much as I can along the way so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. So please, folks, have a look. There is a description box below the video here with all the links in it, or at least quite a few of the links that we need to run the channel. Number one, have a look at First Friday, the group healing event, okay? Just go to the link and it'll tell you a lot more there. I won't take your time now. Next, shopping. Shopping's always good. Check out the merch. It's on many countries across the world now. And you just click on your country, the bottom of the shop, and it'll show you what products are available in your area. Okay, the book. If you want to get that book about January 2020, now would be a good time. It's time to prepare. Think of 1776 revisited. If you want to get deeper into the astrology, look at the Astro Doodles playlist. It's a separate playlist. If you need to get a personal reading, check the link below. Singles, you can even watch this too if you want to. Just allow for the laws of attraction, what is being reflected back to you, considering the energy that you are radiating. And that will make more sense in just a moment once we actually get into the reading itself. The other part of the routine drills, cross-watch for significant others, and also watch for your sun, moon, and rising, because it really helps to clarify in case this one doesn't make sense for you, Taurus. Sun, moon, and rising. You can find that out. You know, do your own searching for that. You'll figure it out, okay? If you need to, check in with Tarot Illumination. Finally, Tarot Illumination membership. That's really vital to keeping the channel open and growing, so please check that out. Okay, cards, let's just go to the notes here. Now, with the separate playlist, you can get into this more deeply. I'm just going to show you a couple of essentials. This big Capricorn new moon eclipse up here, up in your 9th house, is really, really sweet for you. Taurus is just opening up new horizons in new vistas about your whole life, your world, how you see everything. And that will impact your relationships. It's sweetened up by the Venus-Sag thing. But look, this is the thing that concerns me, okay? This is a huge eclipse right at the end of the month, January 20th, right on a very, very critical, pivotal point of the foundations of your life, your world, the home, okay? The home and the family over here. Moon will be in Leo and Sun in Aquarius up here, your destiny, your place in this world. So there might be some earthquakes and earth-shattering awakenings that are going to happen at the foundations of your life, the place where you sleep, your family, that thing that where you call home, your sense of security, stability, and foundations from which everything grows like a plant. So I'm just marking that on the calendar. Towards the end of the month, the Leo Aquarius axis technically is in a hard square challenge aspect to your sun, okay, or your moon or your rising, depending on what kind of chart you have. So please take that into account. Like the early part of the month could be really sweet. Either way, the whole month is very, very dynamic. Think very big wave surfing, ecliptical energies, evolutionary gateways, double duty in this month. So there's a lot of pressure on all of us. It's not just Taurus. I'm going to shuffle more. I'm still not happy with this. And so please make the best of it. Get yourself as best aligned as possible early in the month, Taurus, because things are going to get really shaken up towards the end of the month. All right. I'm just letting you know in advance. And that will affect love and relationships. Bammo, I never normally do that, but look at that. You can write in if you want to. I saw that. I know you saw that, but I'm not going to comment. All right. I'm just messing with you guys. So we're almost ready. We're going to use a Tarot Illumination Crucible spread. It's on the understanding that there's you, Taurus, a significant other, and a third entity. That would be the relationship itself, okay? Which has a life, energy, mission, and purpose of its own. And are you aware of that? It's like a living thing. It's you guys own this. So what is it like? Are you aware of it? Is it crumbling, feeble, fungally infected? Is it stable? Is it flexible? Can it handle intense pressures? That's what a crucible is. That's what a crucible does. It's a bowl that is built to withstand intense pressures in laboratories. And it's the same thing with human relationships. They are like laboratories. Sometimes the pressure is intense. So does the relationship have the strength to handle it? So cards are shuffled. Let's get on with it. Bless the deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, Taurus. Have a wonderful, wonderful January 2019. Thank you for being here. Let's make the best of this. Bless our illumination and all the gadgets and electricity and all of that. Okay, what are you radiating here, Taurus? Okay, so think of yourself like a smartphone. Okay, over here, what are they radiating? This is not a couples reading, by the way. It's all about you, Taurus. We're just factoring the other party in, the other energy into the reading, so that you can get the perspective and reflection that you need to be you. What are you rating at the heart and soul level? What about them at the heart and soul level? And what about at the core, the relationship itself? So there you see the crucible. This is a crucible. It is a bowl. And this is where the relationship exists. So you guys can intimate and separate in the sanctity of relationship. The question is, are you aware? Okay. Over here, what is being fostered and nurtured? What are you guys growing? Think of this as a business. You own this. It's like a plant. What is being grown? Okay, so we're now going to start. We're going to look at environmental influences, circumstantial energy, even blame the planets if you want. Call it the weather. We have the Knave of Cups. So my feeling is that the message for you and the relationship and the other is to be aware of your innocence and your sweetness and your humanity in all of this. Like we get so swept up in how things have to be, should be, could have been, or are supposed to be. Where's it all going? And when you do something like this is a very ephemeral thing. It's very subjective, and you can reinterpret however you want. But my feeling here with the Knave of Cups is that it's important to understand that most people want to love and be loved. They want something that works. It's actually very hard to do sometimes. If you're an expert, you would say it's the simplest thing. Just be loving, be loved. But simple is not easy. So Taurus, my feeling for you is that be aware that at some degree or other, you're going to be exposed to your own innocence, your own lack of awareness of what is not working, but you're coming in. You need to know that this is actually very, very good for you. The situation is good. It's very nutritious for you, the relationship, and the other party, and that you're kind of being given the nod. Think of your spirit guides, your angels, your special invisible friends. Think of the energy of heaven, and it's smiling on you. It's smiling on the relationship, and it's basically reminding you that you've got something sweet here, and it is worthy of like investment and pouring more love into this. Okay, let's have a look. What are you radiating? Okay, Ace of Cups. Oh no. Okay, I wasn't going to say anything. Please do not hold tarot illumination to this. All right, this is extremely rare, but I'm just going to say it. That was the card that flipped out. It really, really wants to be known. It really, really wants to be understood. And so I'm just going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to expand on that or get any qualifiers or anything. We have the Ace of Cups here. So Taurus, my feeling is that in your own sweet way, you are already doing the very, very good, solid, classic Taurian thing of looking at your assets, your talents, your gifts, resources, your material world, your substance, and you include love as an element of all of that. And you're realizing, oh my gosh, like I had no idea how incredibly lucky I am, but now I'm starting to get a glimpse of how incredibly lucky and blessed I am. And I am the living embodiment of be loving and be loved. I am loving and I am loved. And you're starting to witness and experience it in your life of what it actually means. It's just a simple tarot illumination kind of chant. Be loving, be loved. You are loving, you are loved. Love breeds love. Love is as love does, and you're kind of an embodiment of it. And if you went and looked in the mirror, Taurus, you would actually see that. You would start to realize, wow, I must be doing something right here because I feel like I am being loving and I feel like I am being loved. And I would not have earned this or had this card unless I had earned it. It's a card of sacred opportunity. The ace is very powerful and raw new beginning energy. So my feeling is that this month is going to be a huge like kickstart for January 2019, those Cancer Capricorn eclipses are really going to work in your favor for love and relationship, for every aspect of your life. And the jolt is going to come from the Leo Aquarius eclipse on that very, very tight angle at the foundation of your life and the very tippity top midheaven of your chart, representing your destiny and career. And you can start to see that. You're going to start to see that and feel that in the context of love and relationship, where it's like you're effectively becoming an instrument of the healing power of love, the embodiment of that. Anyway, I don't want to go on anymore. Sorry. What about the other? Kerblam with the tower. So they're having a completely different experience, but it might be amazing. One of those kind of earthquake, cataclysmic, epic moments where, it's inevitable that you are with a significant other, Taurus, in a way in which these energies in 2019, I'm just going to blame it on the planets, okay? Or I'm going to just blame anything that goes wrong, I'm going to blame it on the planets. And anything that goes well, I'm going to blame it on the planets. So my feeling is that with the tower energy over here with a significant other, they might be going through some massive kind of implosion in such a way that is ultimately good for them. I often think of the tower as one of the most powerful healing cards in the deck, where everything that is obsolete, redundant, just rotten, fetid, and just does not need to exist anymore, just gets blown away. Like what's happening on the Weather Channel all across the world, like volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, fires, hurricanes, tsunamis, cyclones, all of it, just massive cataclysmic energies where it's extremely humbling for the human being because we don't have any say on any of that stuff. You just kind of go with it. Hope you don't get caught. But in this case, you're dealing with another party, Taurus, who is in the middle of that right now, where it's almost like their whole idea of love and relationship is getting blown apart. And out of the rubble, inevitably something new and good and better is going to happen. But it could not happen without the obliteration of the pre-existing paradigms. I hope that makes sense, okay? It's like out with the old, in with the new. And so in this way, Taurus, you might be an extreme blessing to a significant other over here. And they might really, indirectly appreciate this. It might be very easy for them to, if this was very painful or catastrophic for them, it could be very easy for them to blame you or blame something or anything. But often what happens when things go wrong in relationships, we blame the person closest to us, which is often our chosen loved one. And then that's why it gets so intense in love and relationships as we intimate and separate. Like, oh, everything's sweet. When people start off and they have all these honeymoon type energies flowing, and then reality kicks in, and it's just like, well, wait a minute. You never told me about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you never asked. Well, and by the way, you never told me about blah, blah, blah. And then you can say, well, you never asked. So who's to blame? Well, it's not me. It must be you. You're the one who flirted with me. And wait a minute, you're the one who started this. And you can't win in a situation like that. And so my feeling is that what's happening is what's happening. It's a big, strong energy. Remember, this is not a couples reading, okay? It's all about you, Taurus. And we're just allowing for a significant other who's going through some kind of, all right? Whatever that is. Maybe it's amazing. We intimate. We separate. Oh no. Whatever it is. Maybe there's something external in their life that's like imploding. But this is a relationship reading, so I feel that this implosion here is, contingent upon the relationship. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here at the core? Again, best of intentions. My feeling is the King of Cups is that you are really, really holding to your strength, your dominion, your power, your sense of integrity under intense pressure. Because there's no doubt there's going to be intense pressure simply because of the planets doing what they do. It's intense for everybody. The whole month of January 2019 is intense with the two eclipses. It's just a question of how does it affect you? How does it affect each one of us? They are having their own version of having to deal with the eclipses over here. So please allow for that, okay, Taurus? Meanwhile, let's get back to you. My feeling is that you're radiating absolutely the best of intentions uh, for what needs to happen in this relationship, to maintain the highest levels of standards of integrity for you, for the other, and for the relationship. Nothing less than superlative is allowed. That Capricorn energy is so big. It's such a huge stellium, and it's as great as it is when it's in Capricorn in your ninth house. It might be very difficult for somebody else, so you have to allow for that. So my feeling is that you happen to be in a really sweet spot here, especially early in the month, and you're taking full advantage of that, which would be the responsible, loving thing to do, and uh, capitalize on your integrity, your strength, your power, your ability to radiate pure love and receive pure love. That's very good because you're probably going to need it. You're probably going to need to maintain that degree of integrity under intense pressures. Okay? Especially if some of these pressures are coming from above and beyond and outside your normal comfort zone. We're talking about huge shifts and growths here in your ninth house, okay? Which is about like worldly expansion out into the world, into the universe, preparing you for your destiny in the 10th house. And bammo, then we have that eclipse. So it's very much associated with your relationship. Your own personal destiny, to me, feels very integral with the relationship. What are they radiating here? Okay, the Emperor. Bam, oh, big cards here, people. So my feeling is, I'm getting mixed feelings about the Emperor with this one. My feeling is deep down, this is almost to do with fear. It's almost like they're frightened that their sense of dominion, strength, ego, position, dominance, forget the gender, is at risk here. And because it's at risk, you know what happens when people's egos are threatened? They start to like grow and expand like that, like they puff up to prepare themselves for, let's say, not conflict, not retaliation, but for an encounter. Okay. And my feeling is that what they want to do in a very similar way to you is that they want and desire to maintain their very highest levels of integrity as well in the context of a relationship. But it might be, let's say, getting fueled by different reasons and different motivations. They could feel as though, my feeling is that they might feel very threatened by, so much love here and not knowing what to do with it. On the other hand, they could also feel that because you're in such a strong position here, and I think you're preparing yourself. You are like girding yourself for what is to come at the end of the month with the Leo Aquarius eclipses, and you're ready for it. You can handle it. My feeling is that it's going to be a struggle for them, and it's going to take them to the maximum of their abilities to cope, and they're going to start displaying characteristics of like wanting to be in their full power, but it might be over the top where they might start behaving like a despot or a ruler who's out of control, like an absolute monarch who has absolute power. And that's great when it works and it's benevolent, but it really sucks when it's not working. That's the problem with monarchies. So anyway, with the Emperor energy here, my feeling is that on the bright side, this whole thing that's happening with you guys is going to bring out the very best in you and the very best in them, but it means the other party is going to go through some tumultuous shifts and changes in the way, I guess, they live their lives, how they see themselves, how others see them. Maybe that needed to happen. Maybe we needed to have this happen so that their true strength and glory could be exposed. Otherwise, this would have been buried under an obsolete structure, which was bound to, fall apart anyway. So maybe this is good news. Let's think of this as good news, okay? What about at the court here? So we have the Knight of Coins. Oh, excellent. I'm so happy to see this. I feel the coins are an example, like exemplary of love is as love does. I think of tokens, love tokens. And the Knight of Coins energy is what I consider very solid, grounded, noble, earthy, very well intended, with only the best of intentions. So, okay, so my feeling here is that I'm just trying to check back with the knave here, that what's going on is that it's definitely going to be tumultuous, okay, especially for the other party, and you're doing everything you can, and you're doing this because you have to maintain your integrity, your honor, your let's see what like your your individuality, your right to be you, perhaps under intense pressures. Like the early part of the month could be very sweet for you to expand all this chance to happen. Then, bam, the Leo Aquarius thing kicks in. And that's where the pressure hits. But it's almost like, a farmer waiting for an amazing lightning, thunder, rainstorm. And then, bam, it happens. And that's exactly what they need. And everything just gets nutrition with the amazing waters and the burst of energy. And it's very liberating for you, the other, and the relationship. And so my feeling is that the relationship itself is showing the signs of uh, people who are aware of the ups and downs and the cataclysmic events that happen in relationship, and they don't take it personally. In fact, they prepare for it just like farmers do. They realize that, farming is extreme high risk business, and yet it has to be very stable. And so farmers are used to handling very high risk and creating stability out of that. At least they try as best they can. Bless our farmers, okay? Bless the land on which they work. Bless the oceans that they farm as well. And so I get the feeling here that you guys going through some kind of convulsive cataclysmic event, which is really not your problem, Taurus. It's more to do with them, but it does affect you in the relationship. It's actually really good for the relationship, and it fosters the energy of like teamwork, where like you guys know you're heading into this like a storm kind of energy, but you're prepared for it because it's actually what you want. It's what you actually need. So you're battened down, and then you let it all happen, and then you come out. Let's say you came out of a storm shelter, and you look at each other and you go like, you know what? That worked. Yeah, it worked. Thank you. I knew I could trust you. Thank you. I knew I could trust you. Well done. Well done. We can do this again. We are stronger now. Look what we have. Look what we have built. Look where we've come from. Look where we are going. Let's have a look here. Okay, the Eight of Wands. Bam-o. My feeling is that what this does here, it's almost like, let's go back to the Tower for this other person, okay, Taurus. It's almost like this has to happen, where you have to have this, like it's almost like a nuclear fusion or nuclear reaction thing to happen, where something eventually compresses, the pressure builds up, there's so much love capacity here. You maintain your integrity, they have to maintain absolute integrity under intense pressures. And just like in very intense alchemical reactions, it goes like blam, and it happens. And it's what you actually fostered and nurtured and created very gently and carefully, just like farmers nurture. But it's actually very cataclysmic, and it brings on like an amazing restart of energy for you guys. It's mostly for you, Taurus, but it's a relationship, so we're factoring them. So it's good for them too, where it actually brings like energy that has to be expressed, vibrant, new life, new inspiration, new beginnings, some way, somehow, that is almost like having a fireworks display, like bammo, just like I don't know how else to describe it. I feel it's very much like an amazing, powerful alchemical reaction. And there's the buildup, and then it just goes kerblam, and then it's beautiful, it's passionate, it's exciting, it's rich, it's inspiring, it's stimulating, and it validates you, it validates them, and you can just go, cool, well done, well done, well done, love you. Yeah, it's almost like, farmers, not too much PDA, like, not bad. That wasn't too bad, was it? Well, it was pretty rough for me, but yeah, we did it. Okay. So we endured. Yeah, we endured. Nothing amazing. Hey, watch out. PDA. I can't help it. Leave me alone. I know you like me. I know. Get inside. Get inside. Okay. We'll do this stuff later. Bye. Bye. Okay. So snuggle up, Taurus. Snuggle up. It looks pretty sweet here. Okay, I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to say anything more. You can reinterpret however you want. Bye-bye. All the best, Taurus. Make the most of it. It's a tumultuous, dynamic month, and you have a really good chance to make a lot out of this for yourself. Okay? Bye-bye. And for the relationship and for the other. Let's not forget that. Okay, bye-bye.